Have you ever wondered what goes on behind this podcast? Every week, there is an episode giving you guidance and strategies for your plant based diet journey. But what else has been happening? If you've been listening to this podcast for a while now and enjoying it, now is your chance to find out. In this episode, I'll be taking you behind the scenes so you'll get a sneak peek into my personal life. And since it's the year end, I also want to share some podcast milestones with you so you can celebrate along with me. This has truly been my favorite episode to do this year because I get to share more about myself, our family, and what's been happening. And I can't wait to share it with you. So if you've been wanting to get a behind the scenes look, join me inside this episode. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi friend, do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Hi friend. In case you missed it last week, I shared about something exciting that's happening on this podcast in early January, just around the corner. Starting January 6th, I'll begin a new focus series called Starter FAQs, or Frequently Asked Questions. In this series, I'll take some common questions many plant-based diet beginners have and answer them on this podcast. Why? Because I know that changing to a new lifestyle like this can often feel overwhelming and confusing. So I want to help you gain more clarity and confidence on your plant-based diet journey. Not to mention help you reach your health and weight goals much faster in 2025. So if you're planning to begin in January, have already started, or have been struggling in your transition for a while now and need more guidance and support, make sure you mark this date down so you don't miss any episode in this new series. On January 6th, I'll also be making a special announcement related to the Plant Powered Life Transformation course. So if that's something you've been thinking about or considering, definitely tune in then. If you don't know what the Plant Powered Life Transformation course is, let me tell you. This is a 6-module online course designed to give you the step-by-step roadmap you need to help you easily master the basics of plant-based eating and transition into a strong plant-powered lifestyle without stress or overwhelm. This self-paced course gives you video lessons, recipes, practical strategies, cooking hacks, and skills so you can learn how to prep, cook, and use whole plant-based foods and turn them into easy, tasty meals. If you want to find out more about the Plant Powered Life Transformation course, just go to plantnourish.com/PPLT course. Now let's move into today's topic. It's the last episode of the year, so I wanted to do something a little different, something a little lighter, something to round out the year and finish it off with a little figurative bow before we turn our attention to a new year with new intentions, new goals, and new aspirations. Plus, it has truly been a full year for the podcast and my family, and I want to tell you about it. That's why I wanted to take this chance to get personal and share a little more about myself and what's been happening behind the scenes of the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. And I'm excited to do it. So let's start. First, let's turn our attention to this podcast. It's been 1 year and 5 months since the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast started running, and we've hit some big milestones in 2024. Here are some of them. Last December, we ended 2023 on episode 25, but this year we're ending the year on episode 83, so more than double the number of episodes have been published this year. To me, that's just mind-blowing. Here's another reason to celebrate. At the time of this recording, we've now reached more than 47,000 downloads on this podcast and over 1.2K podcast subscribers, just looking at the Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Spotify platforms. If you're one of those who have been following this podcast as a subscriber, I want to take this moment to say a big thank you to you. Thank you for supporting this podcast in this way. It really, truly means a lot. The growth of this podcast has been really encouraging me to keep going because it shows me that many people are listening and receiving help and support in their plant-based diet journeys. If you would like to see this podcast continue to grow and reach more busy people with health challenges, struggling to start or continue plant-based eating, you can support it by leaving a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. See the show notes for this episode to learn how to do so. What also encourages me is seeing the community that's been built up around this podcast as a result, all interested in growing and learning about plant-based eating. Friend, I hope you know and see that you're not alone in your transition. We're all in this together. Now, personally, it has been a very full year too. Many of my clients are aware that our family has been in a state of uncertainty and transition over the past year or so. That's because my husband had been thinking of moving into a different area of ministry. He had been teaching in a Christian college to undergraduate students for over 8 years. Well, God's plans for our family became clear over the summer of this year, with my husband accepting a position in Vancouver, British Columbia, to be an associate pastor at a church there. Needless to say, this has resulted in a big period of transition for our family, especially in the last few months. Our family moved across provinces and are now settling in Vancouver. It is an exciting time, but also a bittersweet time for me personally, because we are leaving behind many precious memories and experiences of our time in our previous location. There have also been so many special relationships and friendships built up over time that it is hard to have to change some of those relationships to more long-distance ones for now, even though the connections will still be there. So that's what I've been doing, apart from recording and making podcast episodes. I've been busy selling furniture, donating items, and packing up to relocate our family in a new location. That's why I say it's been a very full year. I hope you've enjoyed listening to today's episode as much as I've enjoyed making it. I just wanted to share what's been happening on and off mic because I truly see each of you, podcast listeners, as part of a family, and I appreciate you being here on this podcasting journey with me. Thank you for faithfully tuning in each week to listen, and I especially thank those who have taken the time to rate and review this podcast to tell me how it has impacted your life. It takes quite a bit of effort and time to put together each episode to have it ready for publishing. But when I read your submitted reviews, I always feel so encouraged to know that you're learning and benefiting from the episodes. It makes all the effort of putting together an episode worth it, because I see it is helping you transition with more confidence to a plant-powered way of life. Thank you also to those who have told others about this podcast. As I'm recording this, I'm not sure if today's episode topic will turn into a yearly tradition or not. Well, we shall see. I know this episode is reaching you on New Year's Eve, so thank you for taking a moment to listen out of your social festivities. I don't know about you, but I am definitely looking forward to a new year and a new beginning. It always fills me with hope and anticipation. And if you are looking forward to a new beginning in health and life too, make sure to join me in that first episode of 2025. Until then, Happy New Year to you and your loved ones. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or iTunes to let me know. Nothing will lift me up more than to read your review and see how this podcast has made a difference in your life. I also pick reviews to read on this show, so your review could be one of them. Come connect with me in my free Facebook community group, Beginners for Plant-Based Diet Success. Just go to bit.ly/PB Diet Success. That's bit.ly/PB Diet Success. You can also subscribe and follow this podcast to get notified when a new episode goes live. Signing off now, this is Anna, and I wish you the best health always.